It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. And it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
And we are underway in Buffalo. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
First carry for Najee Harris. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 2. Here's another carry for Harris. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Here's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Like certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. The Buffalo defense does its job, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
I remember when he came out of Wyoming, the big question mark, could he be accurate enough to be a star in the NFL? I think it's safe to say he's put all of us in our place and put those doubts to rest. He can roll out and run it. He can bomb it over your heads, everything in between. He is an absolute nightmare for defenses to try and prepare for. And when he's on, he's an MVP caliber player each and every time he takes the field.
Throwing now is Allen. Has his man, it's Shakir. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
3rd and 3. Now Allen. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
To throw, it's Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Still a few inches short of a 1st down as they come up now on 2nd down. To the air, Allen gets this one to Morris. 2 yards, good enough for a 1st. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Here's Allen. He's got his man. That's the rookie from Florida State. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 yards there, just like last play.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Allen. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And it's caught. That's good for a gain of 6. Second and goal. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Cook is in. Touchdown, Bills. So, partner, it was a passing game that drove them down the field, but when they get close, they trust that man in the backfield, and he took him home.
And they trust their offensive line as well, because so many of these units, they specialize in either pass protection or run blocking. This group shows its versatility and gets both done on this drive.
Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A 10-play drive that time. And it was James Cook capping all of that off with a touchdown run. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
It's brought in by Harris. Oh, nice move. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he goes out right around the 39. That'll go for a gain of 7. And 3rd and 1 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Warren. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in. And
when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Allen. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Keanu Benton, the one who got in to bury him. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
So now on 4th down, Sam Martin on to punt for Buffalo. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
The Steelers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Wilson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And the throw and the catch were just fine. But against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First catch so far by Pickens. It's good for a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Finding Pickens for another catch. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. George Pickens, 26 yards. And the Steelers have retaken the lead.
On this play, he just made a great route. The quarterback had to deliver it, sure, but a great route run there.
And, Brandon, this is what the best receivers do. They work on their route running because it's one thing to have athletic ability, but to really get open, you have to set up defensive backs with different routes and be precise in your cuts.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Well, now how about this return? And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Throwing on 2nd and long. Allen into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
George Pickens and the Steelers headed back out for another series.
He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got it. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Freiermuth.
From 10 yards out.
And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add. Their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Boswell good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Back now on offense, the Buffalo Bills. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 31-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 6.
On play action, Allen. He's able to get it to Coleman. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
First and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Allen going to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Motion man is Shakir.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. That is caught. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Allen to throw it. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Allen to throw once more. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
2nd and 10.
Throwing now is Allen. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
And that's a wise decision. Remember, he threw the pick on the last drive. This time he says, I'm not forcing one. I'm just getting it out of here.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Allen now looks to throw. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Smart move to throw that one away. You're in field goal range, so you definitely don't want to be loose with the ball. And that's great work by this defense to force a 4th down.
So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the right hash here, should be an easy one.
The kick by Bass is good.
And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10.
So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll have time for 1 play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. That's down the field for Jefferson. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he returns this to the 22. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the 2nd half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Throwing to start the drive. Allen
swinging this out wide here for Cook.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Allen. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 35.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. To the air, Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And again, it's Allen. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 4, this is 2nd down and 1. Here's Allen. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. They tried the fade there to the back corner, and Charles, you know very well that can be hard to stay in bounds on that route.
So difficult because you have to start the route to give yourself enough space to actually fade away from the defender and stay in bounds, just as you described. If the defender's able to take away that little bit of cushion.
And caught by Cooper. Touchdown, Buffalo. 4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Bills are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
Oh, such great concentration there, going right up against the side of the end zone, but able to get the feet in bounds.
There's so many things that go into that catch, and you just mentioned the concentration, being able to catch the football, get your feet down in bounds, hang on to it all the way through the process of the catch. That was a phenomenal.
And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And he gets it to go, and we're all even. 17 apiece. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's Amari Cooper who finishes it off with a touchdown reception.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Now Wilson.
He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
Fifth catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now a first down carry for Harris.
And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Warren. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try the right side with Harris.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Wilson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17.
So a response there to the touchdown of the opening drive of this 3rd quarter as they're able to reclaim the lead.
And I think you'll take that because obviously you'd like to be able to match them touchdown for touchdown, but the first order of business was to get the lead back, and they've done that. Now you want to give a good pep talk to your defense to take it from there.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Back now in Buffalo. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Now Allen. That's Samuel, caught left side. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Yeah, he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Now Allen again. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch him drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
To the right side here, caught by Kincaid.
That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Keon Coleman.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bills have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. This has definitely been a back-and-forth affair, and now they have the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they gave up the field goal on that last drive, as we remember, but it felt like their offense told them, don't worry about it. We've got your backs. We'll come back with a touchdown of our own, and they did.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
We certainly have a good one on our hands. They're trailing after that last touchdown, but now a chance for this offense to try to snag that lead right back here in the fourth quarter.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Now it's Wilson. Complete to Austin here over the middle. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense.
Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Wilson. A short one there to Freiermuth. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This Buffalo crowd letting them have it. 3rd down now. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. Here's 2nd down and 3. Here's Wilson to throw. This is caught. And the Steelers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Running flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
Now 1st and goal. Wilson to throw. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Important extra point up and through. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Bills' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Throwing, Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Now Allen.
Throwing the out route and complete. It's Coleman.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there, picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. To throw is Allen. That's complete. It's Cook.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
Here comes 2nd down at 5. Here's Allen.
Over the middle, complete. That's Coleman. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4.
Here's 1st down. Allen. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
Ooh, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Now Allen. That is caught by Shakir. And he's going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. Allen. Completes to Shakir once again.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
I'm starting to wonder here, are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10. Downfield throw tip, but he's still got it.
Well, the Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
This is 1st and